Welcome back to Citystead, everyone. Today we're going to talk about worm protein. Alright, just mess with you a little bit. Today we're going to talk about something I've noticed a lot more here getting later, going into winter with the worm bin. It's getting a lot more wet than it used to during the summer. So we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to show you a couple of my tips that I've been using to help keep it at the right moisture level. You don't want it to be too wet to where it's like you squeeze it and the water comes out. Just kind of want it to clump together a little bit, that soil in there. So that's what I'm going to do today, show you my little trick that I've been using. Maybe it'll help you if you're having the same kind of problem, you're having a lot of moisture. And I just thought it's a good day to do it because I moved them into the greenhouse because it is getting cold outside. And the greenhouse will provide a little extra warmth until I get a full setup down in the basement, because the wife has okayed the worms moving into the basement for the winter. So I'm super happy about that, because it'll be a lot easier to keep them going when they're just in the basement than, you know, having them outside somewhere or in the garage or something. So you can see here how that soil is a little bit too wet, a little moist. You can see a lot of water in it. You can squeeze it a little bit. You can feel a lot of moisture coming out of it. Don't want to squeeze it too much because we got some worms in there, but so it's just a little bit too wet. Got my worm buddy out here now. You getting the worms? So you guys notice I took this cardboard off. I've mentioned this in a couple other videos, but I keep the cardboard on top of here to kind of hold some of that moisture in the summer. It worked really well. This is kind of the time of year you could probably take it off. I will probably just replace it with one that has some of that glue that actually holds the stuff together, because the worms actually really enjoy the glue that holds cardboard together like that. So, you got a worm? Let's pull up your sleeve so you don't get them all dirty, huh? Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do is pull this out and look at the worm bin underneath it. So you're going to have to back up. So this is what I mean when I say I have a lot of moisture in my bin. This is actually the second bin in the 3-bin system. And you can see there's just like a puddle of water down there. Now that's too much. We want the worms to be able to free float between this bin and the other bin until we fully rotate them, which we're, you know, almost to the point where we're going to rotate them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty the very bottom bin, which is supposed to be our water catchment bin. Let some of this stuff pour out, and then we're going to put it all back together, and we're going to fix up that other bin. And I'm going to show you what we use to dry some of that soil out. That is some nice worm tea right there. We're just going to pour it on the plants right here in the greenhouse to really help them for this winter. Alright, putting the worms back. You ready? There's your friends. There's your friends. Find any more worms? Okay, so one of the things we are going to do is I got this seed catalog last year from Fedco Seeds. And Fedco is really good about their seed catalog. This is 100% real paper with ink that is soy-based. So this can actually be composted and reused for things. There's no high gloss on it or anything like that. So perfect kind of thing to help you. Because what we're going to do is just grab a few pages out of here, rip them out, and then we're going to rip them up, and this paper will help soak in some of that moisture. Alright, rip it up. We'll just rip it into different kinds of pieces. We'll mix it all into the soil here, into their bedding. And like I said, it will soak up some of that water, and then it'll just break down over time, and the worms will compost this down like they do pretty much everything else. Okay, so my little Ozzy over there is ripping up paper for his little worm bin. Hey, put it in the worm bin, not the water bucket. We're going to talk a little bit about why you might have a lot of extra moisture buildup in your bedding, in your worm bin there. So one thing I've noticed is we feed our worms a high tomato diet. Anything that might go rotten on the counter or any scraps of the tomato always goes in there, and cucumbers, things like that. Anything that has like an end that gets cut off or anything like that holds a little bit of moisture, and as that stuff breaks down, it actually releases that water into our worm bin, right? Plus, worms do their business and stuff, you know. And then we have the moisture levels of the fact that at night it's been getting cold, so it kind of like gets that freeze, and then as the you know, the soil will warm up throughout the day, kind of defrost that a little bit, and we get a little bit of water from that condensation type stuff from the heat in the summer. So there's a lot of different factors that'll actually make it you know, get a lot extra moisture. For me, I think it's really the food breaking down that we put in there. As it breaks down, it releases a lot of that water out into the bin, and I think that's how we get a lot of our buildup. So while we are out here doing this, we're also going to do some other things for the worms. We got a little bit of sand here because worms need grit to break things down. You want to pour some sand in there? You want to throw it in? Shake it around like that, buddy boy. Okay, that's good. A little bit of sand in there will actually help them digest their food that they're eating. And then what I also did is I crushed up some eggshell. You see right there. This is also a good thing to help them with grit. We're just gonna sprinkle this around in here. Yeah, you want to sprinkle that too? Now with the eggshells, what I did was I ran these through our little blender type thing, ninja widget, whatever it's called. You know, made for kitchen. And I didn't actually dry mine out. It's probably suggested you either dry them out or maybe bake them so you get a harder shell that's easier to break up. Mine did have the membrane and stuff in there, so it's kind of clumped around a little bit, but they will still be able to work with this and get what they need to get done. They know you? Alright, so now we're going to put some food in here because it's time to feed them. Hey, let's pull it out and show them what we're going to feed them. So we got really lucky for the worms. Well, we didn't get lucky. The worms got lucky because we had a couple bananas sitting on the counter here that went bad. So we got a really overripe squished banana, and this is like their favorite treat. So we're gonna pull this out, squeeze that in there, and we just throw the peel in there also, kind of break them up a little bit. We also got some avocado peel right here with a little bit of avocado on it. The worms absolutely love these things. At least ours do, at least. This is one of the things that they seem to go for the most when we get it in here. Did you get everything out? We also got some apple slices. So we feed them mostly just whatever scraps we have left over. If the kids don't finish something with dinner and it's something we can give them, they usually get it. Oh, yep, good job. All right. So see, even as the food's breaking down in our little composter thing that we keep it all in, it gets a little bit of moisture down at the bottom of it, and sometimes it goes in there. You know, I'm not saying any names or anything, but you know. Okay, you ready? We gotta mix it in. You wanna mix it in?
Yeah.
Alright, so we gotta get down in here. Down to the bottom. Get some paper down at the way bottom. Some of that sand at the way bottom. Oh. Say worms!
Hi, baby mommy. Hi, baby mommy.
You wanna hold the worm?
Hi,
You got
mommy.
it?
Hi, baby mommy.
You wanna hold one?
Yes. Hi, mommy.
Hi, wormies.
Hi, baby mommy.
Hi, baby wormy.
Hi, baby mommy.
Hi, baby wormy.
Hi, baby mommy. Baby mommy.
Now, like I mentioned, worms really enjoy the glue that is in the corrugated cardboard, holds it all together. So, and since cardboard is also another good thing to draw moisture out of soil. We are gonna rip some of this up and it's also gonna go in here. All of this is gonna work toward getting the right moisture level inside this worm bin so that everything is happy. And then we can continue to collect some of the super great worm castings and just building incredible soil for seed starting next year. All right, rip that up. All right, get to it. Well, that's a quick little tips on how to kind of dry out your worm bin if you're having the same experience we are, where sometimes you get a little extra moisture built up in there that you don't want. All right, remember guys, be bold, grow bold, and as always, we'll see you in that very next video.